Today we'll be working on Chapter 3, Section 1. Our section is relating multiplication and division. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at some models and see how exactly our multiplication and division are going to work off each other and be related. So first one we have here is example 1. It says Felissa and Ming Li went to an arcade. They played 4 games. It cost $3 each. What was the total cost? All right, so we could go through and do that. We could take $3 for the first game, plus $3 for the second game, plus $3 for the third game, plus $3 for the fourth game, and get our answer. Another way we can do that is by using multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're going to first take a look here. So we have an array here set up where we look and we set it we arrange counters, or we have these boxes here. On our array it shows that we have 3 rows here. So these will be our rows 1, 2, 3. Think about just like the rows of desks we have here at school where they're set up. So we have our 3 rows. Then we also have our 4 columns, and our 4 columns go down. Sometimes you'll see these on houses. They're called columns. They're like big pillars. So you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see all of them. Okay. So now that we have our rows and columns, we can go in and we can just count them up. This is kind of a small array, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many total counters do we have? We have 12. Now, this is where our addition and this is where our multiplication and division come into play. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at our example up here. We're going to use that to write down our multiplication problem. So we're actually going to turn this into a multiplication problem. So the first thing is when we have an array, our first number is going to be our rows. So we're going to think back 1, 2, 3. We had 3 rows here. All right, then we're going to look at our columns. So we have 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 columns, so 3 times 4. These would both be what's considered our factors. All right, that's one of our key terms for this section in this chapter is factors. And factors are what we multiply together. They're what get us our answer. They're what we use on this side of the problem and what we multiply together to get our answer. Now, we knew already that our 12 here would be our total counters, and this tells us that that's how many total we have, and we know that if we have 3 rows with 4 columns, we're going to end up with 12. All right, and this would be our answer, and again, our answer in this case is called our product. So whenever we have a multiplication problem, our answer is going to be called our product. Just like when we had addition problems, our answer is called a sum. And for this one, we use the word product. Now, this is where it's really cool because we can actually flip this into a division problem. We don't even need to really change it at all. You'll notice that we had in this one rows, columns, total. Over here, we're going to flip it up, so we're going to start with our total this time. So we're going to use the same numbers. We have 12. All right, this is our total we have here. This 12 is our dividend, and that's what we're starting with. That's the number that we're actually breaking up. Division is all just about breaking things up into equal groups. So this is the total. We're going to start with our dividend, and that's what we're going to be breaking up. Now, our rows tells us, here we're going to use the same one here. We had 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. Our rows is our divisor, and that's what we're breaking up. And what this is saying is we're breaking this 12 into 3 equal groups. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. And finally, our columns here is going to be used over here, and that will be 4, just like from before. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and that's our quotient. And that's going to be our answer for a division problem. So the way we look at this one is we started with 12, we broke it into 3 equal rows, and there were 4 in each row. All right, so that's kind of our first step, so we can kind of see what we end up with. Then we bring it back because we always want to come back to our problem. What was the total cost? If we know they played 4 games, 1, 2, 3, 4, they cost $3 each, we'd end up with a total cost of $12. You can kind of see how we can just really just flip these kind of back and forth a little bit. We're using the same problems, same numbers to create 2 separate problems. All right, and this is what's an example of what's called a fact family. Okay, a fact family is a set of 4 related multiplication and division problems that use the same 3 numbers. You might have seen this before with addition, where we can create addition and subtraction fact families. We're using the same 3 numbers to use 4 addition and subtraction problems. We're going to do the same thing now with multiplication and division. So what we're going to do here is we have our nice color coordination here. We have orange. You can even use orange here. Orange is going to be our 3 rows. Okay. And that's going to be rows whenever we see that orange. We have blue. Blue is going to be our columns. And green's going to be our total. Okay, so we have right here's a nice array. So you'll see that again we have 3 rows. So that's 1, 2, 3. We have 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have 12 total. Okay, so we're going to now kind of enter that information in to create our first fact family. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at this and we're going to see, okay, if I put my rows first here, I have 3 rows times how many columns I have, and I have 4 columns. And then what was my total if I counted them all up, my 3 rows and my 4 columns? If I count them all up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'd end up with 12 total. So that's going to be my total here. Now what you'll notice is we can kind of just rearrange these numbers and end up with 3 more additional problems. So the first thing you're going to see is we can flip these 2 first numbers. So we can flip our rows and columns and end up with 4 times 3 this time equals 12. And that would be our additional multiplication problem where we're still using the same 3 numbers, but now we would have a different array and it would show up as a different problem. Now we're going to change it just like we did before on this last page here where we worked and flipped it into a division problem. We're going to do that with this as well. So you'll notice you're going to start both times. You're going to start both times with your dividend. Okay, so over here you kept your factors on one side and you just flipped your factors and you had your product over here. Now you're going to start with your dividend on both and change your divider and quotient back and forth. So we're going to start with our dividend on both of these. So we're going to do 12 on both of them because that's what we always start with as in our division problem is our dividend or our total that we're breaking up. Now I'm going to flip back and forth with my first one. I'm going to do my rows and use my rows as my divisor. So if I break them down by rows, I get 3. What this is saying is I broke them down like this. So I have 1 row, 2 rows, and 3 rows. And then my answer, or my quotient, is going to be how many are in each row. And if I look, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I end up with 4 in each row. And again, you'll notice that I'm using the same 3 numbers here. 3, 4, 12, 3, 4, 12. Now they're just rearranged a little bit and we have a division instead of multiplication sign, but I still have 12, 3, and 4. The same numbers as over here. And this time I'm going to break it down for my last problem. I'm going to break it down by my columns this time. So I'm going to take my total 12 and I'm going to break it down into 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, and 4 columns. And this time I have 1, 2, 3 in each one. So this time I'd break it down by 4 and I'd end up with 3 columns in each, or 3 buttons in each column. So really it just is how we're breaking up these numbers, and you can see this is my fact family that I'm able to create all of these with. Our last type of problem, we're going to again use those fact families, but now we're going to mix in something from last chapter, and that something is going to be a variable. So we're going to work to kind of flip these problems around to solve for that variable. So for my example, it tells me that Vanessa has 36 books to put on 4 shelves. The same number of books will be placed on each shelf. How many books will be on each shelf? When we think about breaking things up, and this is that really taking a total and breaking it into equal groups, so that tells me I'm going to be doing division right away. So I know my total is going to be the 36 books that I start with. So I'm going to start with that as my dividend. Now my divisor, what I'm dividing by, is going to be how many groups I'm making. So in this case, I'm breaking them into those 4 shelves. So I'm going to have 36 divided by 4. All right, now, this is a problem where it is fantastic if you know right away where your division are, but me personally, division's a little more challenging to me. So what I like to do is I like to also be able to flip these into addition or into multiplication. And to do that, I can use my fact families. So what I'm going to do here is I see that I can set up as 36 divided by 4 equals my kind of that gray square there. All right, so this would be like my fact family here. If I had this on the triangle, I'd have 36 up top, 4 on the side, and my square down here. And what I can do is I can create all of those problems just like I did above here where I created those 4 problems, but I can do it using these 3 symbols. So now I can see I could have 36 divided by 4 equals square. That was my first one that it shared with us. Okay, right there. I could also have 36 divided by square equals 4. Now, neither of these are really helping me that much. So what I want to do is I want to kind of change this into my multiplication because I'm a little more comfortable with those. So now I'm going to think, what can I do to change this into a multiplication problem? And the first thing I know is that my total, remember in my division problems, my total is going to start for me. In multiplication, that total is going to be the tail end here. So that's actually going to be my product. All right. So I'm going to start with my product. Now I can think to myself, I can flip these into either way I want. I'm going to go with the 4 first. So I'm going to have my two factors be 4 times my box here, my variable. All right, and this is how I'm going to set it up, where I broke it into a multiplication problem because that's a little bit easier for me. So I'm going to think now, if I have 4 times square, I'm going to try to get 36. So one way I can do this is if I know my facts, if I know my 4s and 9s, I will probably be able to tell right away. Another way I can do this is I can take a couple educated guesses and try. So I'm going to try to get as close as I can and then work to get my answer. So I'm going to start with 5. 5 is a good one for me because I can count by my 5s. So I'm going to take 4 times 5 and see if I end up with 36. Okay, so I know that 4 times 5 is really just 4 groups of 5. So I can count by 5 4 times and get 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, those are my 4 times. So I end up with 4 times 5 is 20. Now, that's not quite big enough. That's not really going to help me out here. So I'm going to try another one. This time I'm going to try, since I know that 20 is too small, I'm going to go 4 times 10. All right, when I end up with 4 times 10, I'm going to work through this, and I think to myself, 4 times 10 is 4 groups of 10, so 10, 20, 30, 40. Again, just a little too big. I know I'm close, though, so this time let's try 4 times 9. All right, when I do 4 times 9, I have a lot of different strategies I can do to help me with this. But one I know is I'm pretty good at counting by my 9s. So I'm going to go 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 9 is 27, plus 9 is 36. All right, now I got the answer I'm looking for. So I can go ahead and plug that in. I know that 4 times 9 is 36. Using what I know about fact families now, and back here, I can replace this with a 9 instead of my box there. And now when I plug it in, I come back, what would happen is I'd end up with my 9 here, replacing all of these. This is my original problem. Now I know that box equals 9. So I know that 36 divided by 4 is 9. And back to my original problem, Vanessa will be able to place 9 books on each shelf. So this is really what we're focused on today, is these fact families and being able to flip these back and forth between our multiplication and division. So your challenge for today and your goal is going to be to complete our independent practice here. So now that you've watched the video, your challenge is to go through and complete 3 through 10, working all with our fact families. All right. If you need any help, watch this video again or comment on Seesaw that you're just not sure, but make sure you watch the full video first. All right. Have a fantastic day.